This film felt like if Climax and Lux Eterna had a baby.
Welcome back to Eagle Reviews.
I'm Eddie.
I'm Jip.
And I'm Bruce.
Today we'll be reviewing Brandon Cronenberg's newest film, Infinity Pool. So this film follows a struggling writer who meets a strange woman while on vacation. And he soon discovers some very dark, incredibly messed up stuff outside of the borders of the resort.
With Brandon Cronenberg directing, I knew this would be weird, but holy shit, this was weird.
I did not expect this to be as violent, as bleak, and even erotic. This movie had everything.
I'm going to stop you right there. Viewer discretion is advised with this film because there is a lot of bodily fluid thrown around everywhere.
These guys aren't just vacationing in Cancun. No, it's some random third world country where the rules are a lot different than what you're used to. You can clone yourself if you have a lot of money. You have to be rich and powerful. And this country does not believe in punishing you specifically. They punish your clone. It is such a unique concept. It just goes hard.
It zombifies you, basically killing your humanity and leaving a clone there that they can infinitely punish. For any of you watching this right now who are thinking about Infinity Pool or who have never heard about it, go watch it because this is one of the craziest things that I've ever seen.
And you will see a lot of things. You will see tits.
Boobies.
You will see penises. You might even see a person with no penises or a micro penis. And you will see the craziest things you've ever seen in these very uncomfortable sex scenes.
Yes, they're uncomfortable to look at, but they are very eye-gazing. You can't look away. And no matter how much you say they're uncomfortable, your eyes will not get off that screen. And you know damn well they won't.
I was confused throughout the film, thinking of ways of how I could piece one thing with another thing and make it make sense. This can be a turnoff for some people because it's not gonna pull in that audience that you think it would. I know in my theater, it was only me. It's not because it's a bad film, it's just because there's too much craziness going on. And you have heavy hitters like Mia Goths and Alexander Skarsgård. That's not enough to pull people into the film, but when you watch it, you appreciate the greatness.
Prior to Infinity Pool, his previous work was Possessor, a movie that went so under the radar that I'm sure no one has seen. I felt like this film is way more accessible to the public just because that film is just so batshit crazy. To this day, I have no idea what's going on. But the film is very visually pleasing and very stylistically done because it's David Cronenberg's son, you know? He's gonna get those cues from his dad, and the body horror elements are always present, which I absolutely love.
You might also see the worst scene you've ever seen in your life in shock value, and it'll transition into some Bollywood scene because this movie has some comedic tone to it as well.
And that's what I feel like he learned from his other work in Possessor, whereas this you can kind of buy what's going on and what are the undertones.
So Alexander Skarsgård is in this film. Mia Goths was also in one of the best horror films of 2022 in X, and they were both so magnificent.
So not pro?
No, I hate that movie.
I feel like we're getting a huge push on Mia Goths being a horror icon. I feel like she was a little bit annoying in this film, but I don't hate Mia Goths at all. I feel like she's one of the finest actresses now, and I know she's gonna go on to do great things.
No, I'm a star! Please, I'm a star! I'm sorry, it's too late.
Mia Goths is top 3, by the way.
Top 3 what, Oos?
Hold this for me. To give a different perspective, another thing that I theorized was that this was everybody's personal hell. So while she was nagging, she was only nagging him. She wasn't nagging everybody else. Everybody was just attacking him. They didn't want him to leave. He couldn't escape. So the amount of times that he got revived, the amount of times that you seen him humiliate and torture himself, it's infinite because this is his infinite hell. I feel like a lot of movies have this theme of the 7 deadly sins and pride being one of them. Vanity could also be pushed into that. Why can't this man catch a break? Like, we don't really know any of the bad things that he did. For some reason, he just felt like a very bad person. Not even towards the middle of the film, but towards the beginning of the film. Like,
Yeah, from the jump.
marrying your wife just because of her financial status, not really loving her, you know? Their marriage was based off of lies. She just wanted to marry him because she wanted to spite her dad, who hates writers. She didn't really love this guy in the end, so he went out looking for a connection, and the first connection he found was his vice, his siren, so to say. All right, you know what time it is. Let's get to the infinite amount of ratings, starting off with Chip. What would you rate this film?
I will say walking into this film blind really helped. This is exactly the type of unique and creative movies I want to see. It breaks my heart that it's not getting supported. There were maybe 3 people in our theater and half of them walked out. Go watch these movies, but be warned because this is not for everyone. In fact, I'm actually afraid to recommend this to most of my family because they would think I need to go see a therapist, because I enjoy this stuff. I enjoy the crazy hedonism, the brutality, the bleakness. I love horror, man. That's how I am. But I think all the performances were great. The cinematography was chef's kiss. The music and the vibes of the very erotic scenes were awesome. I think this is a film. If you're an indie lover, if you're familiar with neon films, A24, go watch this film. It'll be right up your alley. I give this a 4 out of 5.
Like Possessor, I'm gonna give it the same rating I gave that film, which is a 3.5 out of 5. And I feel like it's a movie I can rewatch. Not anytime soon. I will definitely get to it. I feel like I would just like it even more. And I do like these weird horror movies. Like, although it's not fully horror, those horror elements really slap. There is some great body horror being displayed, and I know for a fact he took cues from his dad. For anyone who knows me, body horror is my shit. The Thing is my favorite horror film of all time, and I will love anything dealing with that.
Well, not a lot of films really stick with me, and this one does. And for that, this film gets a 4 out of 5. I will watch it again. My rating is subject to change, but I think it's only gonna go higher. I really liked it. I like being confused. I like thinking about it, creating theories, and seeing what everybody else on Letterboxd, on Reddit, on Yelp, on YouTube, everything that they have to say, and just comparing and contrasting. So go watch it. Please go watch it.
If you do watch it, like and comment, subscribe as always. Let us know what you think about Infinity Pool.
Like and subscribe.
Where you go.